Well, this movie is getting a lot of hype. A lot of people are calling it an instant classic, and I can't quite agree with that, but this movie does have the potential to reach that camp. Project Hail Mary is directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. You might know them from the Spider Verse movies. They're sort of like the writing team behind it. And this movie is sort of a message we need right now, which is about hope and inclusivity, because this is a film about a guy who he's a science teacher and he wakes up in a spaceship one day and he's orbiting around space. He has a slight bit of amnesia. He doesn't know why he's there, but as the plot progresses, you realize he's there because he's assigned to save the planet, because the sun is having its cells are being eaten away, and it's up to Ryan Gosling's character to figure out how to save that son from dying. And this movie is a lot like The Martian, which would make sense because it's from the same book from the same author as The Martian. And it's a film that is about not only just saving the planet, but being able to communicate with each other. The movie is a lot like an updated version of E.T. Halfway through the film, not even halfway, I don't know. This movie's really long, 2 hours and 36 minutes. More on that later. But in the movie, Ryan Gosling, whose character goes by Grace, his name's Ryland Grace, I believe, but he meets an alien, and the alien and him form a bond that I haven't felt has been so genuine since Elliot and E.T. It's really that good. Like, this is like the first movie that pays homage to a lot of Spielberg's, friendly alien movies, and it doesn't feel like a blatant homage. It feels like its own thing. Because together, what Ryland and the alien's name that goes by Rocky in it, they try to find a way to save the universe together, because it is up to they whatever communication differences that we have aside, because the movie, here's the message it's trying to say, is that we are divisive. We constantly get in arguments with each other and we don't work together. But if we did, the way an alien and a human works together so closely, where they become close friends that they can possibly save the world together, that's what matters. So if we could put our differences aside, if we can work together like Rocky and Grace does, then the world can be a better place. But the problem is we don't communicate with each other, and if we can't even communicate with each other, how are we going to communicate with the alien life? Especially now that it's been officially confirmed that aliens exist. Now, this movie works for those thematic reasons. The relationship between Rocky and Grace is phenomenal. Ryan Gosling's really charming in the movie. This is probably his best performance since Blade Runner 2049. Um, and if there's one major problem I'd have with the movie, though, that doesn't make it quite a classic, is that I think structurally it needed a lot of tightening. This movie could have been 20 to 30 minutes shorter, and I think it would have been just as effective. Because when we developed the plot line uh, of how Rhineland Grace got to where he is, um, that plot could have been cut significantly, and you still would have been able to predict where it's going to go. It would have been just as effective, but it tries to build a human connection when really it has more to do with the alien connection, where the human connection doesn't quite work as well. And that's unfortunate, because this movie has some incredible jaw dropping moments. There's some moments where I was getting choked up, and there's also a little bit of muddling with the plot, because the movie plays like this huge 2.5 hour montage, and within that montage sometimes you're like, wait a minute, what sample are they grabbing to do what experiment to save what? Because although I like movies that do get into the science of within science fiction, um, Yeah, some of the science, even if you have basic science knowledge, might get confusing. Not in terms of the science, but what they're doing, because you have like a really big climactic scene, and you're like, wow, okay, they did that thing. And then you have another one right after that, and you're kind of going, wait a minute, didn't they just do that thing? But outside of those structural issues, the movie really is an incredible blast, and it is worth seeing in IMAX. Apparently, most of it was shot without green screen, or apparently none of it was shot with green screen, which I have some trouble believing. But the visuals in this movie are spectacular, and this movie combines an enormous scope, incredible visuals, and a heartfelt story in a very beautiful movie. I didn't quite find it a classic, but I think a lot of other people will. You can find my full written review for Project Hail Mary at ypareviews.com. When it's up. I don't know when I'm uploading this reaction, when the review will be up, so we'll see.